Welcome in. This is your odds checker betting preview for this week's Wyndham Championship. I'm Rick Gehman. That right there, Geoff Fienberg. Geoff, here we go. Final regular season event. We can add in the narrative of all the guys who haven't played well all season long, who can instantly flip a switch because their FedEx Cup playoff life is now on the line.
A lot on the line. People focused on those back numbers, Rick. I sort of, get hyper-focused on, even through the FedEx Cup, that top 30 number. I think, those sort of feature the players that most of us find ourselves beholden to, but there's only a few more events for us to lose money on some guys who never win.
Yeah, I've already bet some guys who have never win or cannot win. Let's go straight to the grid here. And what I notice immediately out of the gate, Bet365 is hanging some numbers, Geoff. So if you have access to Bet365, as of right now, they've got three co-favorites at 18-1. It's Lowry, it's Sungjae Im, it's Will Zalatoris, with DraftKings, for example, having those guys at 12 or 14-1. So a little aggressive marketing out of the gate from 365 here.
Yeah, and I think we've got to note, Rick, I mean, we spoke about it over the last couple, but it's really polarizing now. The sort of numbers that have been winning these golf tournaments. It's from the top of the board in some instances, not just like that betting range near the top that we like, the very top. Outside of like Billy Horschel at the Memorial, it's been a really long time since anyone's cashed something. Not really going to sit here and count the John Deere number, but hopefully there are opportunities this week. That being said, I would be shocked if another quality player left Sedgefield without the trophy.
All right, so as we look at the top, we've got the three at the top. It's Lowry, Im, it's Will Zalatoris. You mentioned Billy Horschel, and then we'll throw Webb Simpson in there as well. Those are all the golfers who are essentially 22-1 or shorter. If you had to pick one of these, who would it be? And do you think you're going to, compose the card with one of these guys at the top?
I do not see myself going anywhere but Billy Horschel or below. If I had to pick, probably would be Sungjae. I could see him, being able to most likely, I guess, keep pace with the 4-day scoring it probably would require to win at Sedgefield. Will Zalatoris, I mean, what do we got? The 18-1. It is very tempting, Rick. I'm still of the belief that, I don't know, maybe I'll bet Will Zalatoris in like a full field playoff event instead of this shortened near the very top number. But the way winner's circle has been being handed out on the PGA Tour, you can't just dismiss it. I have the last couple weeks gotten unlucky with some second place finishes. Well, a player I love and Finau dominates. I'm fine. Just like that sad kid GIF emoji talking to the news reporter. Now I'm fine. I'm holding up well, but I, once again, I'm just going to have to pivot right off this very top because it's the next tier and it's a collection of names for me.
Yeah, there's two that stand out to me, and you're absolutely right. The next tier is great. I like Corey Connors and Sungjae Im. They're both 28-1 along with Russell Henley, and then you can get into Terrell Hatton at 33, Adam Scott at 35. Those are just in front of the 40s, Geoff, with a lot of names lurking in the 40s.
Yeah, so I've already made two picks in this range. I've taken on Corey Connors at 28-1. I promise you, he was motivated. Like, I bet you he was as fired up at home cheering on Pendrith, probably more so than Pendrith was playing those buddies. So I just kind of love seeing that as we head into a week. I think that'll set up perfectly for Connors by every statistical metric. Henley blew this thing at the finish line last year. I bet him at 30. So those are the two moves that I have made. But like a lot of people, Siwoo, between the narrative and the fact that he's coming in here with some quality form, he's gonna, it's gonna be hard to cross him off. Terrell Hatton's gonna be a guy I'm circling around until I got to make a final card. And Adam Scott, a player I pivoted off of last week. Again, three players who I am very much swimming around, but I haven't made a bet on. I do have the confidence in Connors and Henley at this moment.
Yeah, the big four in terms of like course history, it's Webb Simpson, it's Kevin Kisner. You can throw Sungjae Im in there with 12 rounds, and then Siwoo Kim with the 20 rounds of his own. Those are kind of the big four when it comes to Sedgefield history. Into the 40s, Geoff. Look at this. They just said, take anybody you want at 40 to 1. Aaron Wise, Brian Harmon, Denny McCarthy. We rounded out with Harold Varner, Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner, our defending champ, and Taylor Pendrith. All of those guys, if you shop it on the grid, you can get at 40. And then I'll throw in JT Poston at 45 to 1.
Yeah, another competitive part of the odds board here, Rick, and recent history tells us this should maybe be like the cutoff point with what's gone on the PGA Tour the last few weeks. Although, hey, Davis loved the third one here and at north of 50, which makes you believe pretty much anybody can do it. I've made a move at that 40 number. It is Harold Varner the third, Rick. One or two more swings to go down with this Varner ship in 2022. I think this, the way Sedgefield sets up, the way I look at the prototypes of guys that have had that course history fit, Varner's name slides in there very effortlessly for me. That is a bet I have made. So 3 so far for me, Varner being the third.
The 50s are home to names like Davis Riley and Keith Mitchell. And then the board really starts to spread out, Geoff, because there's only a handful of names between 60 and 80 to 1, including Adam Long, Scott Stallings, who finished inside the top 10 last week, Mark Hubbard coming off of a missed cut. Is there kind of anything in this 50 to 80 range that has your attention at this point in the week?
So at the moment, I am kind of naked in this 50 to 80 range in terms of bets. Adam Svensson, a player who a lot of us were on a couple weeks ago, got off him. I like how he sort of showed up last week. That could be one. Scott Stallings has been so consistent. Adam Long. And if I want to play the ceiling, like Goddard has my attention. But at the moment, there's really not much for me in 50 to 100 to 1.
Yeah, Goddard 80 to 1 is the best number available there. That's across the industry for the most part, if you're interested. So now we step into triple digits, one of the major discrepancies on the grid. Cam Champ as short as 60 to 1, as long as 100 to 1, if you're able to shop that. We saw spurts from JJ Spawn last week. He's 110, or maybe the flavor of the month in Callum Tarrant at 130. Geoff, anything in triple digits that might find a click from you?
Looking at the triple digits, Rick, part of me is tempted to go back to a Lee Hodges, who I was on a week ago. If you put anything into the sort of databases, the popular ones, it's hard to do much that doesn't tell you Matt Neesmith flirting north of 100 to 1 should be a nice play this week. And taking advantage of the grid, top number on market, seeing it as low as 60, as high as 100. It's easy to connect the course fit dots for a player like Brendan Todd. 100 to 1 on DraftKings. Staring at the odds checker grid, comes in as low as 60. So this is another event where the books are on some guys in different places, and Todd can, plot his way around here beautifully. That 100 to 1 is kind of tempting.
Yeah, that method of strategy, including accuracy off the tee, finding the hot putter on these kind of slick Bermuda greens, that's kind of the Todd way to get it done.
Yeah. So those would be the guys, and a lot of us in like the golf betting space. It's not like how do you put this? When the top of the board, I'm not one of these people. I'm more than happy to play the top. A little mad at myself I never did it with Tony. And the way the top is hit, I'm kind of mad at myself that I don't have more winners in the last couple months, just based on, like, I'm never afraid to go into that range. I don't know, Rick. I'm, as much as this event has a wide open feel, and I got suckered into maybe over betting the back of the board the last week, I really like that talent in front of 50 to 1. I don't think these squirrels are going to find a nugget in triple digits.
I think I tend to agree with you. I obviously
not a bold statement either, but from a betting strategy, you got to pick lanes.
Yeah, especially after missing out on a couple of Tony Finau wins for me. I was never going to have Tony at the top, so I got wiped the last couple of weeks. Okay, Geoff. Well, we are going to wrap up the regular season this week. We'll head to the playoffs next week, which should be an absolute blast. But for now, you can find Geoff on Twitter at GFienberg17, and you can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been your odds checker betting preview for the Wyndham Championship. Good luck.